It's a funny thing. People say electricity is expensive, difficult to get. What's the most important thing in our lives? The most important thing in our lives is to be healthy. Maybe the most important thing is to be happy. But in order to be happy, we need to be healthy. And in order to be healthy, we need to eat, drink, think, breathe consciously. So food has got to be our number one priority, and water. Water number one, because we want to be alive in 5 minutes. Air, 5 minutes. Water tomorrow, food the next day. We live in a world where electricity is so important. For my phone, we are making this video right now. For my home. For my life. For internet, YouTube, video, electricity. And so I see thousands of people buying hundreds of thousands of cars, maybe hundreds of thousands of people, maybe some people buy more than one car, like businesses and so on, and then complaining about load shedding. And yes, in 2008 when I put up my first system, it was very expensive. Very, very expensive. Last year when I put up my second system, I replaced the entire system for the same price. But the rand has dived and the value is so much more. So even though I spent the same amount, I got 12 times more power. More battery power, more inverter power, more solar power. And I don't have gas. We cook electrically. We heat water electrically. We also have help from the sun. And I see people complaining and complaining and complaining and complaining and complaining that electricity is expensive. But after your health, because your food and water is plentiful and you're never going to run out and you're never going to have load shedding, then the next thing you want is no stress. Then you go buy a new car, or you go buy a new watch, or you go buy a new phone. Spend, spend, spend. Maybe you've got DSTV, I don't have DSTV. Maybe you've got a TV, I don't have a TV. Maybe you have Netflix, I don't have Netflix. Maybe you have DSTV, I don't have DSTV. Maybe you have a new car, I don't even have a car. My wife doesn't have a car. We worked from home for 20 years. We don't have so many holidays. We don't have any stress. We don't have load shedding. We don't need to complain. And yet the solutions are so plentiful, so opportunistic. Imagine if 1 million people who bought new watches, new phones, new cars, put that money into a new power station, a new power system. That could be 20 billion rand a year. We only need 5 million to revolutionize South Africa. Do you think I can find that 5 million? Trying for 10 years. No one's interested. Because we live in a country of complainers. Oh, I don't have electricity. Oh, there's load shedding. Oh, but I've got the new iPhone. But I can't use it because I can't charge it because there's load shedding. We're on the brink of catastrophe, but we're also on the brink of the most fantastic thing that's ever happened. Decentralization. That's what my book, A User Manual for Life on Earth, is about. Perhaps I should have called it A User Manual for Life in South Africa, where I have the sun and water and electricity, all plentifully available right here. But I see people complaining that electricity is expensive, but load shedding is expensive. Load shedding costs the economy 100 rand per kilowatt hour of lost capability. Eskom has cost the economy 40 trillion rand. Yes, 40 trillion rand over the past 13 years. Do you want me to prove it? Just send me an email, make a note on this video, and I'll send you a link to a graph, a spreadsheet that shows you if the government had done their work, every single one of the ministers could have their own private jet, there'd be change, there'd be full employment. In 2010, the government said we need another 11 million jobs by 2030, instead of which we've lost 5 million. So we need another 16 million jobs in the next 9 years. And I believe we can do it in 5, maybe even in 4. The possibilities are endless. The opportunities are fantastic. But we'd rather complain constantly instead of thinking, what is our most important thing we need today? Food, water, good quality, organic, immune boosting, food, quality, air, water. And no stress, no load shedding, no possibility of running out of water in a country surrounded by the ocean, where we can pump oil 1,000 miles, but we can't pump water 10 miles. We're so short-sighted that we think if our dams are full, we have no water problem. But our dams are full, or close to full, and we're still paying so much more. So electricity is 2 Rand 60 kilowatt hour, and 10 years ago it was 50 cents. Should be a Rand by now with inflation, but it's not a Rand, it's 2 Rand 50. And it's about to go up even more, maybe to 3 Rand a kilowatt hour. And water, we used to get free water. Now water costs us 200-300 Rand a month. There's so much complaining and so little ability to actually see the talent that lives in South Africa, in communities. People build their own houses. There are probably more better electricians outside Eskom stealing electricity than there are inside Eskom ability to make electricity. Let's tap into this fantastic potential that we have in this country to do things, to make things right. So we have no stress. So we don't have to worry about where our food's going to come from, or where our electricity is going to come from, where our water's going to come from, or where our health is going to come from, where we don't have to depend on an injection for health, because our immune system is so wonderful that we can ban or dissuade any invader from coming to us. Why is America strong today? It has a very strong army, it has a very strong navy, it has a very strong air force. What does it do? It keeps out invaders, keeps the world at peace. As soon as one country is weak, another country will invade it. But if that country is strong, nobody will invade. If my body is strong, the invaders can come, COVID can come, flu can come, colds can come. But I'm going to be here tomorrow. You want to get an injection? Fine. You don't want to get an injection? Fine. If you want to believe that a little white pill or a little blue pill or a little red pill or a little bit of liquid in your arm is going to save you, you're wrong. You have to take responsibility for yourself. You have to say, this is what I want. I want decentralized electricity. I want decentralized water. I want embedded food. I want embedded water. I want embedded air. I don't want to breathe stale, horrible air. Where I look every day and I see my IQ meter shows that we're at 550 to 600 parts per million of carbon dioxide in there, when the 350.org said 20 years ago that when we get to 350 we're out of time. We're already double that. We are out of time. Got to stop complaining. Start living. Start enjoying life. Go to the beach. Walk on the beach. Do things for yourselves. Do things for your colleagues. Do things for your partner. Do things for your country. What do we want? To be alone? No friends? No nothing? Slaves? No, we don't. We want to be happy, healthy, kind, generous, caring for the community, caring for the country, caring for our spaces. So we don't have to hear these kinds of alarms in the background of some policeman chasing after someone, or an ambulance going to a hospital, because people are healthy. They don't need to go to hospitals. Am I angry? No, I'm not angry. Do I sound angry? Maybe I do. I'm not angry. I'm hopeful. I'm an optimist. And my blood type is B positive. So be positive. Think of all the positive things we can do with our lives, if only we work together for the common good. Let's be alive in 5 minutes by having good quality air that we breathe and enjoy. Let's be alive in a day by having good quality water where we don't have to run out of water. We don't have to think of running out of water. Let's be alive in 2 days by having good quality food. Wherever we go, it's organic, it's healthy, it's lively. It's not processed, there's no GMO. Genetically modified food, there's none of that. Let's be alive in 48 hours because we have electricity. And that electricity is helping our lives be clean, our bodies to be clean, without all the pollution. Let's work from home. That's what the message of COVID is. Every office building worker should work from their home office. We don't need conference buildings, we don't need office buildings. Yes, if you work in a production environment, you need to be in your factory. If you're a plumber, you need to go and do plumbing. If you're building houses, you need to build houses. But 90% of work is in an office, not in some building where you have 5,000 people or 10,000 people all breathing the same air recirculated, wondering why they're getting sick. Thousands of people in traffic jams, breathing carbon monoxide, hundreds of other poisons because of all the spewing shit coming out of the exhaust pipes. And they're worried about smoking, and probably no one's done any research to check, is smoking okay or not, because we're not researching what pollution is doing to us from oil and coal, lead, mercury, arsenic. We know that this is all junk for us, heavy metals in our bodies, polluting ourselves. You go to a conference center with thousands and thousands of people, and you're wondering why you get sick. Go to a building with 7,000 employees, sit on a stuffed train or in a sardine can 30,000 feet for 12 hours and wondering why you're sick at the other side. It's not because you went on holiday and you're in a different environment.